Get involved and make a difference is the slogan of the Mental Health First Aid Organization. Every week we hear of shootings, stabbings, and other violent behavior, and then hear that the person committing these crimes have mental health issues. What is the attitude of Americans towards mental health issues? In less than a minute, I'll be joined by Dr. Marilyn Fraser, whose organization focuses on mental health, a life-altering situation that can affect anyone when you least expect it. Also in this program, you'll meet a young academic achiever from Bedford Academy High School. Don't change your remote. And now, Dr. Fraser, I have lots of stories to tell about people who have mental health issues and people who perhaps think they have mental health issues and don't have mental health issues, and people who don't think they have mental health issues and other people who think they do. Yes. Tell us about, first, your organization.
So the Arthur Ashe Institute for Urban Health was founded by Arthur Ashe just a few months before he passed away. And so we're focused on addressing health inequities and health disparities across Brooklyn, and we hope to replicate our programs elsewhere. And we also try to increase minority representation in the health professions through our Health Science Academy. We have a community outreach where we go, where people can just naturally convene. And so we are in beauty salons, barbershops, faith-based organizations doing health promotion and community outreach.
What is the community outreach like?
Community outreach is very interesting because we meet people where they are. So we know that they are trusted community participants, such as stylists and barbers, and we train them to provide health messages to their customers. So we have done that with a host of various health topics. And as you've mentioned before, we're really interested as well in mental health, and we have conducted some mental health first aid sessions within the community at various places as well.
What are these first aid sessions like?
So they're 8 hours of training, and it's similar to CPR. And so this is mental health first aid to make sure that people recognize certain mental health issues before they get to be critical. And we try to have people intervene before the professionals arrive. Similarly to as what someone would do for CPR or cardiopulmonary resuscitation, making sure that you can intervene before the professionals arrive.
You're intervening?
Yes.
Go on.
Yes, we have to intervene because, as you mentioned, a lot of people do not know much about mental health, and mental health is often placed in a position of stigma, and we are trying to reduce the stigma surrounding mental illness so that people would really realize what mental illness is and that you could intervene and you could help someone that's suffering or that may be in a crisis situation.
Silly question. What's mental illness?
So mental illness is defined as a diagnosable illness that prevents you from doing your normal activities, that will prevent you from working, and also prevent you from enjoying the regular social relationships that you may have. So if it does those things in terms of affecting your work, affecting your regular activities, and affecting your social relationships, then it's considered a mental illness.
What are the symptoms of mental illness?
Well, it's varied. It's so wide-ranging. There are different forms of mental illness. Sometimes we hear about depression. Oftentimes we do hear about that. We hear about schizophrenia, and they come with different symptoms. Sometimes people may be withdrawn from community. They may stop doing those activities, lose interest in activities. You may have sleep disturbance, and so forth. You may just, the way that you take care of yourself, people may notice that you're not taking care of yourself as normally as you did before. So those are some of the symptoms, like the loss of interest in your normal activities, just differences in the way you react at work and all those kinds of things.
It must be difficult for someone who sees this kind of behavior to say to the person you are suffering from a mental illness, or perhaps from getting to you to say, we know someone or we've seen someone who may have a mental illness. How do you fix that, resolve it? How do you deal with that?
So years ago in Australia, they developed a curriculum called Mental Health First Aid. And that curriculum was to do exactly what you're asking, to train people to identify certain symptoms so that they're aware of certain issues surrounding mental illness, to reduce stigma so you're not afraid to even intervene, and to ask certain pertinent questions. So if someone is suffering from depression or someone has suicidal thoughts, that you're able to ask certain questions regarding that, and to check in with people as well. And it's a long course. It's 8 hours that you're going through, learning about various disorders, knowing that you're not going to be a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychiatrist by training, but knowing that you're not going to be a psychiatrist at the end of the course, but you're able to intervene until the professionals arrive. And you're able to lead those folks to finding the appropriate professional help and seeking appropriate professional help.
So how do people get in touch with you to participate in these courses?
So they can contact us at the Arthur Ashe Institute directly. Our website is arthurasheinstitute.org. They can call us at the Arthur Ashe Institute, and we could give you that number to individuals so that they can call us so that we can come out and participate in giving a course on mental health first aid.
I understand you also have an after-school science enrichment program.
Oh yes, our Health Science Academy, one of the things that we are really focused on is increasing people of color in the health professions. We know that that's a large disparity. And so it's important to have more physicians, have more nurses, and have more health professionals that are people of color. So our after-school science enrichment program is a 3-year program. Students come to Downstate, at the campus at Downstate, and they participate in this after-school program where they learn to dissect various things, learn about organ systems, they learn anatomy and physiology, and they get to participate in the summer internship at times and learn about health disparities. So it's an exciting program, and we've had students that have gone on to be Rhodes Scholars. We have had students that have become physicians, nurses, and other health professionals.
How old are these students?
So they come in at the 10th grade. So they're probably 14, 15-year-olds, and then they're there until the 12th grade.
Let me get back to mental health.
Okay.
Very often when people commit a crime, they're able to not be sent to jail because the attorney have been able to convince the jury and convince the judge that these people have a mental issue. Do you find that's more prevalent in white communities than in black communities?
The
and I don't
question
necessarily mean in Brooklyn. Being able to make a case that you should not be found guilty because you have a mental disorder.
That's an interesting question, because I think knowing that there are disparities, knowing that there are issues of racism that happens in our community makes it a compounded and confounding question, right? And an issue that's really compounded because you have mental illness that's also compounded with race issues within our community. Some communities, maybe the white community may be more aware of certain mental illnesses, and so it may be treated as such. In black communities, it might not have been identified. We don't talk a lot in our communities about mental illness. Culturally, some of us that are coming from the Caribbean or Caribbean background, we may not talk about mental illness in the same way, and we may not look at it as something that's debilitating as another disease, another non-mental illness. So we may talk about diabetes being something that's out there, but we may not talk about schizophrenia or depression or someone that may end their life by a suicide. Certain things are kept hush. If our family members might have suffered from that, we don't talk about it. So there are a lot of different things that come into that in terms of culture, in terms of awareness, the stigma that's associated with it. So back to your question, I think yes, in some senses, someone that may be in non-African American community may more readily speak about mental illness, and it may be more recognized in some communities than others.
So getting back to what you said just now, awareness. How do we spread this awareness? And I mean even beyond the kind of courses and first aid clinics that you're arranging?
I think going out into the community and talking about it. So making it something that's at the forefront as opposed to something that's in the background. And when we're talking about other ailments that are maybe more palatable for people to talk about, include mental illness, because oftentimes mental illness can be within those disorders too. So somebody that's, for instance, that's suffering from diabetes and have to take insulin all that time may also have issues with mental illness. They may be depressed. And so having those things coincide and when we're talking about it.
I'm curious about the Arthur Ashe Institute. I know the name Arthur Ashe. I think I've seen him playing.
Yes, yes, yes.
So why is this institution named after him?
So Arthur Ashe wanted to address health disparities, and he knew that in even in his life and in terms of having certain opportunities with having wealth or having access to certain care, even with that, he realized that there are a lot of people that may not have access to care, and there are disparities that occur. And so when he founded the Institute, he founded it at SUNY, Downstate Medical Center, to address health disparities. He wanted the Institute to focus on partnerships in terms of that, also being aware of various health issues within the community, increasing minority representation in the health professions, and doing research and training, and also being focused on policy changes. So that's what was his vision, and that's what we are trying to do at the Arthur Ashe Institute in terms of making sure that that is kept up.
How long have you been with the Institute?
I've been there for a long time. I've been at the Institute now for 16 years. Yes, and so I've just transitioned as CEO for the Arthur Ashe Institute.
That old.
No, I started at high school. Yeah, no, I did, but I started in high school. Yeah.
Okay, I'm expected to believe that, and if I do believe it, you're going to say, Sam Chet, you have a mental problem.
Yes. No, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, not loudly, I hope.
Not loudly, no.
I want to thank you for being on our program. I want to thank you for the information that you've shared with us. I want to congratulate you on being CEO of the Arthur Ashe Institute.
Thank you so much. It was a really nice pleasure being here.
Coming up soon, I'll be chatting with 93.5 FM radio personality Dancemaster. But first, our Young Academic Achiever, a program that highlights the achievements of Brooklyn's middle and high school students. Pat Jacobs, welcome to Brooklyn 45.
Thank you, Sam. My guest is Danesha McCurchin, a junior at Bedford Academy High School. She's also completing an associate's degree at Medgar Evers, majoring in biology. Danesha, welcome. It is such a delight to have you in studio with me this afternoon. Now you're at Bedford Academy and you are currently capping the highest average for the semester, and the number of students over 300. Now, what would you say has contributed to this kind of achievement?
Well, I must say that all my achievements, it's all because of God and just His faithfulness to me. It's interesting because before I do my homework assignments, I make sure to do my Bible study. Before I get into the meat of the class or whatever we're going to go into, I make sure to pray because He holds all knowledge. I would also say my parents, always supporting me. My mom's always encouraging me. I don't wake up to alarms, so when I have to wake up in the morning to do my work, sometimes I might go to bed midnight, wake up 3 o'clock. My mom would wake up to the alarm and get me up so I could finish my work. So my parents, especially my teachers, they've always been so hardworking, and they've always done their part in making sure that I understand the concepts. And just diligence and surrounding myself with people that know more than me, having mentors and just working hard.
So you're willing to learn from others, and I am going to give you some of the credit because right now you have completed most of your Regents classes, have you not?
Yes.
And you are now doing AP Language and Composition, AP World History, and AP Statistics. Now my question to you is, how have you managed to balance such a rigorous program? Now, that is a program at Bedford, and then you are doing the associate's degree. How do you manage time?
Once again, God, and yes, that But whatever time I have, whatever spare time I have, I try to do work. So during my lunchtime, I would quickly eat my food and then go to the library, get some work done, check my emails, respond to any emails that I need to respond to. On a Wednesday, if I don't have an appointment or something else, I'll try to stay back in school, get some work done. On a Tuesday, before I have my Bio 101 class at Medgar College, I would go to the library, do some work, get some studying done, and then proceed to my class. So that's pretty much how that goes. Time management.
That sounds like someone who works. My question is, therefore, do you have time to do anything else?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm actively involved in church. I'm also in extracurricular activities at my school.
What do you do at school?
I'm on the debate team. In fact, I would redound my being on the debate team to my experience in your class in 8th grade when we had a debate. When my principal asked me...
So I guess you're giving the viewers some background about me now.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I am a former teacher.
Yes, you are my former 8th grade English teacher, and I really blossomed in your class. Your teaching style, amazing. I really appreciate that. That's actually when I developed my love for the English language and for writing, and of course, debating. I must say, though, that I started, my first debate in school was in 5th grade with Miss Straker. And then when I came to your class, that's when I actually realized that, hey, I like debating. So when my principal asked me as a freshman if I wanted to start a debate team, I said yes, because I remembered...
You started the debate team?
Yes, yes. In
Wonderful.
fact, I was the one who chose to coach for the debate team. God really worked everything out.
And I understand that we went to the national level and you had a debate against a team from South Africa?
Yes.
Did you win?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We did win. In fact, they want to have a rematch for the trophy. So hopefully we get to go to South Africa this year to debate them again.
Okay.
But we'll see how that goes.
And you played some instruments?
Yes.
You're in a band?
Yes, I'm in concert band at my school. I play the flute. And when I was a freshman and a sophomore, I was also in jazz band where I play the soprano saxophone. But the soprano saxophone I had started playing when I was 6 years old. Okay,
so you have a very rigorous program, you're involved in music, and you give back to the community. Because you did some volunteer work at a hospital, did you?
Yes. During the summer of last year, I volunteered at Kings County Hospital Center in the volunteer department. And for the fall semester, I volunteered in the nursing department. So that's what I did. I actually put that on hold because I have AP exams coming up next week and SAT exams, so.
All right, so you seem to be someone who shows the growth mindset. What would you say is the importance of having a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset?
Oh, well, I would say the words in itself, the phrase growth mindset, growth implies blossoming, flourishing. And so having a growth mindset is really what gives that internal drive to always strive for more and persevere, even though I may make mistakes, even though I may not get the grade I want on one quiz or on one exam. It's the growth mindset that tells me, you know what, Danesha, you can work harder, just study.
And the growth mindset actually says that it is okay to make mistakes.
Exactly.
That we learn from our mistakes. Well, Danesha, it has been a pleasure having you on this program, and I know we are going to hear wonderful things about you in the future. Back to you now, Sam.
Thank you, Dr. Pat Jacobs, and your guest, Danesha McCurchin, a student at Bedford Academy. And to you, our viewers, if you're a teacher, a parent, a member of an organization, or you know a middle school or high school student who has an average of 90 or above, and you'd love to have him or her featured on Brooklyn 45, message us on our Facebook page or email us at info@brooklyn45.com. Now to my next guest, 93.5 FM radio personality, Dancemaster.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I don't see you dancing as yet.
Well, as soon as we clear the stage, that will happen.
Okay, we make sure we bring the cameras
Okay,
there.
good.
When is your program?
Well, my program is on Sundays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 93.5 WVIP, and also on Wednesdays, 9 to 11 p.m.
And what do you do?
Well,
obviously dance, because you talk.
Yes,
you
we
name
do
yourself
that too.
Dancemaster.
Yes, and I play music, all different kind of music, and we do talk. On Sundays, what we do is we talk about topics. So provide a platform for my listeners so we can talk about anything. I've discussed just about everything that you can think about.
And you're doing a lot of discussions about women.
Yes.
You have a video that you just released paying tribute to women.
Yes, I did. It's called Women Run the World, because we really have to acknowledge women, because women, they have done a wonderful job, you know, behind the scenes most of the time. And I think that we should really acknowledge them for the work that they have been doing.
You didn't correct me though. I said you have a video.
Right.
How many videos do you have?
Well, I have many videos.
Oh, okay.
Well, I have a video on that. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I can mention this, but...
Of course, mention anything.
Yes, I did the video for Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
And it went viral, you know, about women and what things about women, positive things about women.
Okay.
Because, you know, there were a lot of negative things that were being thrown around about women. So I came with the positive tips about women. And after that, I did the song. I did a video for the song. It's called Women Around the World. It's now on YouTube. If you go to Noel Dancemaster Stevens, Women Around the World, you can see that video, and it tells you a lot about women.
Okay, what's the YouTube?
YouTube.
Yeah.
Noel Dancemaster Stevens. Noel Dancemaster Stevens.
Songs like the song
Yes.
Noel, Noel.
Noel,
Oh,
Christmas
shucks.
time.
You sing.
Yes, I sing.
Tell me about your singing.
Well, I am from Jamaica. I represent Jamaica for soca music, and I've done that quite extensively.
Soca music in Jamaica?
Yeah, in Jamaica. Jamaica.
Okay.
There's a lot of soca in Jamaica.
All right.
You know, because we have done it over the years. Now we have Jamaica Carnival. I think for the past 20 years, we have Jamaica Carnival. But I've been to Trinidad all over. I've represented Jamaica for soca music. A lot of places. Yes.
What do you love most about your job?
Well, that I enjoy it. It's fun. It's fun. Entertainment, writing, producing, singing, entertaining, it's fun.
Why did you decide to get involved in radio?
Radio, there are topics that I would like to discuss, and some of them that other people are not discussing. So I say, you know what? I would talk to producers sometimes, and they would say, well, we can't talk about this and we can't talk about that. So I say, well, okay, I have a voice, so let me get on radio so I can talk about it. I talk about violence, you know, violence against women. We talk about that. We talk about sex, abuse, drugs, a whole lot of things, because we have things to discuss. Sometimes music is good, but then we sometimes need to talk. We need to have a conversation. Yes.
They call you Dancemaster, and I know it's not because you're dancing in the studio, because no one will see you. So how do people see you dancing, if you do dance?
Well, I do dance. I choreograph. I've done a lot of choreographing for folks, and choreographing for myself and the people that I work with. I have my own styles and moves. Sometimes I do freestyle, you know. So I did a show in Las Vegas a couple of years ago and hit the big stage. Extensively I've performed and entertained for the people. So, you know, they dubbed me the name Dancemaster, so I accepted it.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's not because they saw you dancing?
Well, that's a part of it.
Okay.
That's a part of it.
What else do you do outside of radio?
Outside of radio, wow. I wish, how much time do we have?
We have less than a minute.
We're less than a minute. Okay, well, I went to school, I studied electrical engineering. And I've done that for many years.
Okay.
I'm a nutritionist as well. And I do public speaking. So, you know, I wear many hats, let's just say that.
So let me remove the name Dance and just call you Master.
Master, thank you.
Dancemaster, you
Yes.
can catch him on 93.5 FM.
Yes.
And tell me again when?
Sundays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And Wednesdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m.
That's right, 93.5 FM Dancemaster. And if you haven't been listening to him, you have to. Thanks also to our young academic achiever and to Pat Jacobs, and thanks to Dr. Marilyn Fraser from the Arthur Ashe Foundation. Visit their website to see how they are addressing mental health issues. You can watch this program on our Brooklyn 45 TV YouTube channel, and we'd love you to go to our Facebook page and post your comments. Again, if you know a middle school or high school student who has an average of 90 or above and you'd love him or her to be featured on Brooklyn 45, go to our Facebook page and message us. On behalf of our entire Brooklyn 45 production team, thank you for watching our program.
woman and them. Big up the woman and them. The woman and them. Big up the woman and them. Big up to the woman them. Long time them around this world. The woman and them. Boom. Big up the woman and them. All the woman them know them independent. Who no put up on no one and shout. And the woman them know them not dependent. Let me hear on the scream and shout. The man them a fronted, but a woman run the world. You say the man them fronted, but a woman run the world. Time for we big up the woman them. Time for we respect the woman them. Time for we love up the woman them. Them are the mother with children them. Stop beat up the woman them. Stop abusing the woman them. Stop using the woman them. And that are the whole problem. All the woman them know them independent. Who no put up on no one and shout. All the woman them know them independent. Who no put up on no one and shout. And the woman them know them not dependent. Let me hear on the scream and shout. They say the woman them know them not dependent. And the whole lot know me a talk out. The man them a fronted, but a woman run the world. You say the man them fronted, but a woman run the world. The woman and them. Boy, big up the woman and them. The woman and them. Boy, big up the woman and them. The woman and them. Boy, big up the woman and them. The woman and them. Boy, big up the woman and them. Man can't sleep without the woman them. Man can't love without the woman them. Man can't live without the woman them. Anytime the woman got a big problem, man can't think like the woman them. Man not smart like the woman them. Man no have heart like the woman them. The woman them run this world. All the woman them know them independent. Who no put up on no one and shout. All the woman them know them independent. Who no put up on no one and shout. And the woman them know them not dependent. Let me hear on the scream and shout. They say the woman them know them not dependent. And the whole lot know me a talk out. The man them a fronted, but a woman run the world. You say the man them fronted.